I often get questions about the risks of AI, and I think they're founded. We need to be having these conversations, especially with the pace of innovation that's happening. It's equally, if not more important for us also to talk about the benefits of AI. AI is probably one of the most transformational technologies of our time, but it requires us really being thoughtful about how we're going to develop and deploy the technology. This is one of the reasons we're working with regulators worldwide, because we believe that this can help us plan out a risk framework. How do we think about the risks? How do we address them while also keeping the innovation support alive so that we can think also and deliver AI for benefiting humanity? We really believe that such transformational technology requires exceptional care, and if we're going to have the public trust, having good regulation in place will be an important part of that. In my role as COO, I think a lot about past technologies and what we can learn from them, both the risk and the opportunity, and try to put that into play as we're thinking about building AI responsibly. One of the areas that we've been thinking about on the risk side is bias. We've also been doing a lot of work around safety and also equity. I think these three areas are really important for us to be putting additional focus on, and it's something we've been building into our work already. Maybe I can give you a couple examples to bring that to life a bit more. We know that equity is important, diversity, inclusion, equity. But how do we think about, can we define it and realizing different perspectives? So we pulled together a couple of roundtables together with the Aspen Institute around this topic of equitable AI. How do we build equitable AI? And I can tell you we weren't all in agreement, so very constructive conversations. But out of those, we developed a blueprint for building equitable AI, which we've co-published. And I think this is actually an important first step, and it's just one of many types of efforts. Collaboration here is really key because no one company, no one industry has the answers. In order for us to really maximize the benefit and address issues like bias, safety, and equity, it's going to take a collaborative effort. We've also done work in terms of bias around areas of queer fairness, as well as decolonial AI. These are examples of how we can introduce a language around some of the topics that otherwise might not get the attention that they deserve. First, we think about responsible governance. What does it mean to have governance in place? This can't be, and it has to be built into the culture. It can't be something that you bolt on at the end. So we have, for example, a group of that meets regularly to deliberate on topics, and participants include folks from our socio-technical research, machine learning experts. We have people from our policy team, wide range, program managers, et cetera, legal, et cetera. We sit around and we have conversations about the research that's happening. And before anything can really get published that we think will have impact, we discuss what those risks might be, what the opportunities might be, and are we putting the right effort in place. And I have to say, even though it's a cross-functional team that has these conversations, a lot of times we are missing the right folks around the table. So we pull on expert panels to help provide that guidance so that we're putting a check and balance in as we're thinking about our governance structure. The next stage is responsible research and development. I mentioned the papers around decolonial AI and queer fairness. Another area we've done a lot of work around is large language models. A few years ago, when we were getting ready to release a paper on large language models, our technical research paper, we had done a lot of work in our governance structure to say, as we release the technical paper, we really should be also discussing what some of the risks and how do we talk about risks and opportunities around language. So we held back on our technical paper until we actually had research done around the taxonomy. How do we create a language to talk about large language models so that the industry can engage in these conversations more collaboratively? So that's responsible research and development. The last stage is how do we think about responsible deployment and impact? If I could An example to bring this to life might be our advanced AI system called AlphaFold. AlphaFold is was designed to solve a 50-year challenge in biology, and that is to predict the 3D structure of proteins. Now, proteins are the basic building block of life. And the thought was, if we can understand and predict the 3D structure, we can understand diseases, cure diseases that are incurable today, deal with how do we fight plastic pollution and so many other protein-based challenges in the world. When we developed this, we were getting ready to deploy it, and we wanted to have outside perspective. So we brought in over 30 experts from the field of biology, whether they were Nobel laureates or bioethicists, and we had conversations around our AlphaFold AI system. They gave us inputs to help the deployment go better and also encouraged us to release it. Today, over 200 million protein predictions are in a database that is freely and available to biologists and researchers worldwide. We have over 1 million researchers using this database, almost like a Google search for 3D structures of proteins. And that, I believe, will really help us tackle some of humanity's biggest challenges. And it was done in collaboration with the people who would be impacted with this technology. And we're taking learnings from that deployment and building it back into our governance and research programs. So that's why I believe that really to do responsibility for AI, you need to be thinking about everything from the early stage all the way to deployment and ensure that you have that feedback loop. I am most excited about the fact that now we're using AI to advance science in a way, almost putting like science at digital speeds to benefit humanity. And that's because of how we're doing this so responsibly.